loading the roll of labels. Now these have a ball inside. You don't need to tighten them. Altering the height of your labels. This is for adjusting the height of the labels on the bottle. Next, take the label off. We're using removable labels for demonstration purposes. So first of all, under the white roller, we have a tensioner here, which we'll show in a minute. Under the sensor, down through here where the arrows are on both sides of this roller, or the guides, and up into this position here. The tensioner should be placed with about that much flex in it, in the middle of the labels. Okay, move the gap sensor to a position. A quarter of a turn on all screws is all you need. So underneath the white roller, then lift the gap sensor, feed the rollers down between these two curves. You'll see the arrows here. Push down, feed through, and the labels will pop up in front of the blue roller. So if we apply pressure in the middle of the label and a little bit more, and there's a lock off here. Release the lever on the side of the machine, lift the front cover up, pull some label through, feed it down through the machine, and we're ready for the next step. Now this handle moves the jaws to lock off. We're not locking off yet. We're going to position the label this way across the machine for the height. Okay, so we're about 25 millimeters here. But let's say we want to have the label at this height. So let's say we're going to label around about the height of this O-ring, somewhere. So we move the label across the machine, a little bit of tension, and then lock off the side. We then move the whole assembly across the machine and back the label up so we're parallel with the side of the machine. And then we lock off at the back. So this is a lock off. Quarter turn, lock it off. And the labels are straight through the machine. So we want a millimetre of label above the peel plate. Release the handle, pull the backing material and pull the labels until you see a millimetre, and then lock. While you've got tension, lock off the machine. The gap sensor is unique to our equipment. It is designed to do transparent thick or thin labels. It's a micro switch with a specially designed stainless steel wheel on it. Okay, so the sensor tells the machine when to stop feeding a label. So we know we've got our front label here, about to come out onto the bottle. We have a back label here and another front label here. It's important to be in sequence with the front label to be on another front label or the back label. Bring the sensor anywhere across the machine to the label, and approximately 4 to 5 millimeters from the edge of the label sit the sensor wheel on. Don't put a bottle on. First thing you do when you thread up is you test the machine. So hold the handle down, leave it down. It's not feeding any more labels, let it go. We can see that there's 1 millimeter here, and the sensor is exactly the same distance on the next label. We do it again, and you see it's back to here again. So that is how simple the machine is. Power on. You have orientation off, single label. You have 1 label on the bottle. Choose 2 labels, 2, and the distance in centimetres between your first label and the second label. We'll choose 5 centimetres. and we have 5 centimetres between the labels. You don't always need pressure from the top roll onto the bottle. However, if you need pressure, turn the machine off, create an apex between this roller, and this roller when it's in the down position. Turn the machine on, and you can, first of all, about a finger's depth is what we like, and apply a squeegee on the label. You can also increase pressure here by increasing or dramatically increase the pressure applied from here, and therefore transferred the label being applied up onto the bottle. So with containers with ridges on the top and bottom, you need to cut the roller so it fits between the two ridges. Otherwise the label won't be applied to the surface. This is quite easy. Okay, so simply cut the roller to fit in the groove. Or another way is to cut it to the width of the labels. Okay, next thing is to remove this roller. The axle is accessible here. There are 2 clips, one here and one on the other side. The gap sensor back here, remove the knob, screw it into the shaft, or just spin the roller and pull the shaft out of the machine. Remove the roller, and then you can cut this as many times. So what we're going to do is we're going to put on the one we cut plus its brother. This is not able to be done on any other labelling machine, to my knowledge. So this roller here needs to be cut, and the O-rings need to be removed. So move this away, position the roller so that the blue roller fits in the group between the ridge here and the ridge here, but also remove the O-rings that are touching the bigger diameters, simply by rolling the offending O-ring away, and now this sits down. These are now touching the labelling panel, and these ones need to be rolled, this one and this one need to be rolled away as well. So we can see the blue roller behind is not touching the bigger diameters, and we've rolled the O-rings away from the higher points. This is adjusted down to be the correct distance, and then you have perfect labelling. So to change over to a bigger bottle, simply run your O-rings, choose 2 labels, and we're done.